Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the practice session that just happened for the Grand Prix in Thailand at the Chang International Circuit. Now, before we get into it, here's how it finished. Marc Marquez topped it from Jorge Martin, Enea Bastianini, Pecco Bagnaia, Maverick Vinales, Franco Morbidelli, Pedro Acosta, Alex Marquez, Marco Bezzecchi, Johan Zarco, Brad Binder, Fabio Quartararo, Jack Miller, Raul Fernandez, Taka Nakagami, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Luca Marini, Alex Rins, Joan Mir, Augusto Fernandez, Lorenzo Savadori, and Aleix Espargaro. Now, it was really interesting practice session. Pecco didn't look a bit happy, but Joe in his last run did seem to find some sort of pace. Marc Marquez did top it, but I will admit that he was running the soft front and medium rear, which majority of people were not going with that. So I don't know, is that a true indication of his pace? I don't think he has the pace definitely to run with Martin and Pecco Bagnaia on Sunday. But he could maybe find something, but it was definitely a last ditch soft tire run that got him up there. Jorge Martin looked in pretty good form. Definitely has the advantage after today's practice. Did look very cool, calm, and collected. Now, there's not much between him and Pecco, but Bastianini did slip into third again on the very last lap. Looks okay on pace. I won't say he looks absolutely unbelievable, but he doesn't look bad on pace. Pecco's session was not the best session. He did look quite frustrated and tense during it, but he did get out there and match the pace. And look, he has to stop the rot this weekend. Pecco has to answer back to Jorge Martin. The gap can't grow, or else his championship is over. Maverick Vinales, again, similar to Marquez, did a soft front medium rear, which I think is, you know, it's just getting him up there, but it's not a true indication of where he is on pace. Uh, Franco Morbidelli, again, solid run from him, but I didn't see too much of him, so I'm not sure again where he will be pace wise over the course of the race weekend. Pedro Acosta, good enough session for Pedro in seventh. Struggling a lot with his shoulder still, so I don't expect a lot out of him over the course of the race weekend. I would expect him to fade quite quickly over that. Alex Marquez, again, solid one from Alex. He's been languishing back a small bit lately, so it's good to see him up there. Pace is okay. Again, he was on a soft front, medium rear tire as well, so again, not a true indication of his real pace. Very similar for Marco Bezzecchi, again, up there on a soft front, medium rear. Johan Zarco straight into Q2, not for the first time that a Honda's got in there. Fair play to him, hanging on in there. Good solid day for Johan Zarco, but we kind of all know that he won't go too far forward from this. Mainly, I would think he will go a little bit backwards. Brad Binder again was trying to muscle that KTM around the track, and was just knocked out of the straight through to Q2 qualifying. Fabio Quartararo looks very nervous on the bike, if I'm very honest. The Yamaha does look really nervous. Jack Miller, again, didn't see too much of his pace. He did do a soft front medium rear run as well, so it is interesting to see there with Jack, but again, I think he's hiding pace, that he doesn't have the pace, is what I mean. Raul Fernandez, didn't see too much of him. Now, Raul can normally be kind of good on one lap, but kind of fades in the race. So again, he's on soft front, medium rear. So again, not taking the kind of, let's just say, what should be the race tire in the practice. Um, Taka Nakagami, Fabio Di Gianantonio again, which is a little bit of a shocker that Fabio is down here. Would have thought that he would have been up there, definitely giving it to Bezzecchi, as this is his last Grand Prix weekend this season. Luca Marini, not a bad session from him. leading the Repsol Hondas anyway. But definitely something is missing for him. Similar with Rins, he is missing something small. Um, Also, Augusto Fernandez and Lorenzo Savadori was where you kind of expect Savadori. Alicia Spagro did have a crash in practice one, so I do think that was probably affecting him. Now, let's be fair and let's be very honest here. Marc Marquez put in at 129.165, and Alicia Spagro, who was the slowest person in qualifying, was a 131.383. So if we're really really fair, there's not a lot of difference in that. Okay, a couple of seconds, but if we were to go into where would a second finish, we're probably down to, you could say, 17th or 18th place or within a second. So the grid is extremely tight. This weekend's race should be really really interesting. Tomorrow's sprint race, Pecco has to win it. That is the long story short, and he has to win it in order to keep his championship really alive. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the practice session, and who is your sprint race winner tomorrow? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.